it's makeup favorites time on Sheri Approved, and these are my July, August makeup favorites. To tell you the truth, I have really been a creature of habit the last 2 months. I have been using my stuff, the same stuff over and over and over again, but there are a couple of things that stood out to me that I want to mention to you. Some are oldies but goodies, some are rediscovered ways of using things. So here, let's go and let's see how quickly we can get this done. So look what I have in my hand. It's the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I wear this in the shade Medium Dark 1 Biscuit. Like, how many people still use this? I remember when this was all the rave on YouTube, and everybody, their mother and their grandmother, their aunt, their sister, and their best friend was using this concealer because it was like the best thing since sliced bread. And I think since the Tarte Shape Tape came out and a whole lot of other concealers, you're hardly hearing anybody talking about this. People are using now the Nars concealer in the pot, which I have not tried. But I had to travel within the last 2 months, and I decided that I'm going to pull this out from the back of my drawer, and this would be the only concealer that I'm going to travel with. And guys, I fell in love with it all over again. I don't know why I had stopped using this concealer. I still had it in my tube. I used it for my entire trip. This thing performed. It is a performer. I don't have no excess creasing under my eyes. It lasts all day. It really held up. And since I came back, I have been using it over and over and over and over again. So this bad boy is going to finish. And I actually think I have a backup tube from a Sephora VIB sale where I purchased one, I'm sure. But I still love it. And I was so glad to rediscover this at the back of my drawer. It's the concealer that I have on today. In fact, most of these things I'm wearing now. And yeah, I mean, when last have you used your Nars concealer? Like, pull it out and see, you know, how you like it compared to some of the newer offerings on the market, right? So as we're on complexion products, I could mention the other one. And I did like a write-up review, I think, on my pages on the Maybelline SuperStay Foundation. That is a foundation that I really enjoy. It gives me good coverage, and that's what I really love about it. This foundation promises coverage, not necessarily oil control, and a lot of people keep mixing that up. But I could get good use of out of this foundation on my oily skin once I use the right primer. But all of a sudden I discovered this mixture, and wow, I mean, you guys know that I don't like to wear L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte foundation on its own. I do have a shade in it. That's my exact shade. 109 is too light, 110 is too dark. So I actually have to mix them, but I don't really like how that foundation looks on my skin alone. So my holy grail drugstore combination is this mixed with Revlon Color Stay, and I love that. But then I discovered this, and it was like, ah, like wow, like why didn't I think about doing that? So I actually mix 312 in the Maybelline SuperStay with 109 in the L'Oreal Infallible. This is too dark, this is too light together, mix, bam. I get the what you see on my face is that combination right now. I love the way it looks. It looks really, really smooth on the skin. Like, yeah, I'm looking away because I'm looking into a mirror right now. And it gives me the kind of coverage that I like. But still, you know, you could still see the skincare, you know, because I'm taking care of my skin, what's happening underneath it. I really, really love this combination. Like, wow, has anybody tried to mix these two? I know makeup and skincare tends to make chemists out of us, but I don't know. I mean, we talk a lot about combinations or foundation combinations in a lot of beauty groups, but I'm not sure if I've heard anybody mention that one. So guys, try it and let me know what you think. I'm going to mention, as I said, primer. This is a product that I've had since it released. I used it before, but for whatever reason, I just figured from the get-go that it wasn't going to be enough. So I would use it first and then put another primer on top of it. But one day, by mistake, I used this alone, forgot to put another primer on top, and then I was like, wait, nah, this thing is performing, and I have heard nobody talk about this. And this is a Colourpop primer. It's not the new All-Star primer that they have, but this is the one that they had before. It's the Colourpop Amethyst Crystal Prime and Spray, and this is the one that they recommend for combination oily skin. Now this does have a lot of interesting extracts like pomegranate and things like that, but what they actually recommend, or they said that they put in here to help balance the oil production or sebum production, is honey extracts. And then I thought about that, you know, that makes sense, because the honey is going to help maintain the moisture level in your skin, and when your skin is hydrated and moisturized, it will tend to not overproduce oil. So I'm not sure. I am not sure, because I am working in Colourpop Lab. I am not sure if that is why this is working so good for me, but I have used this primer like 90% of the time in the last 2 months, and that says a lot. Like, a lot of my other high-end primers, drugstore primers, got put aside for this. Have anybody tried this? Again, this is something that I don't hear anybody talk about, and I kind of rediscovered it in error, right? Then let me talk about this, which is not my discovery. In fact, kudos goes out to iCarleen, or Carleen, from the Beauty Chat Room on Facebook. Her YouTube channel is iCarleen. Carleen did a review on this sponge, and this is the AOA Poor Charity, something like that, blender sponge, and you get this on Shop Miss A. This sponge is less than $2 US. But guys, I cannot believe literally that I'm going to say this, but I am not sure if when I see that next Beauty Blender sale, if I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm not sure. Let me tell you something. I have tried so many sponges, and one of my biggest problems with them is, yeah, you can use them to blend out your foundation or whatever, but they don't last. The Real Techniques one, for example, they tear so easily. I have been using this for weeks every single day, because I'm a girl. I prefer to use a beauty blender for my foundation, my concealer. I even apply the powder to set my concealer with my beauty blender. This damn sponge is like everything to me. And this thing is not, it's not tearing, it's washing really, really good. It's looking a little dingy because, I mean, I use it and I just try to rinse it really quickly to show you it here. It's damp here. And the differences that I notice is that when it's wet, it gets a little bit bigger than my beauty blender. So my hands just had to adjust a little bit, but it's blending out the foundation so fast. And then it's washing really well. It feels just as soft, and I find as you wash it and use it more, it feels softer, because like the first and second time it was soft, but I still felt like my beauty blender was a little bit softer. But now, like, I really can't tell the difference between them in terms of how they feel. Performance, ditto, same way. And more importantly, for under $2 US, this thing washing good and staying well. Hello. You all need to get on the bandwagon, and I can talk about it now because I make sure I buy a whole set for me, so I could go ahead and buy out the site now. And let me just let you know, it sells out really, really quickly because it is getting a lot of hype on social media. I have 2 more items to share with you, and one is another old product that is rediscovered, and this is a blush. I'm not sure if like I've shown blushes before here, but except probably in my yearly favorites from the end of last year. But this is a Nars blush, and this is the shade Amour. And this was at one point in time another product that was you know, raved about on YouTube and Instagram and so on. And it's this pinky mauvey blush. I'm wearing it today. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it so good, because blushes tend to, the lighting when you're doing a video could kind of wash it out. So I'm not sure if you've seen it, but if you can, I love this blush because I love the color. It goes with those mauvey looks and mauvey lips that I love a lot and that I enjoy a lot when I'm not feeling to do something warm in terms of peachy, orangey, browny or bronzy. I reach for this blush, but most importantly, this lasts all day in our humidity. It lasts great on my oily skin. At the end of the day, I come home and literally makeup stays on my face like 14-16 hours easily every day. And this is still on my face. Nars in general, their blushes are really good. Do you have some favorite colors? I have not bought a Nars blush in quite a while, but since I picked this up and I've been using it over the last 2 months and fallen in love with it again, like I think I'm gonna check them out, you know. I don't really need any more blushes right now, but I think I can pick up 1 or 2 for the Sephora VIB sale in November. Speaking of which, I did buy a couple of things in the Sephora appreciation event, the sale that they just dropped on us, so we'll talk about that some other time. And my last product for my July-August favorites, although I did not have this for the whole 2 months, but I have to mention it because it was love at first sight, love at first use, love at first touch, and you all know my love affair with Anastasia Beverly Hills shadows, so this is not going to be any surprise to you, but I could not resist and I grabbed the Norvina palette. Yeah, I did. And as soon as I got it, the next morning, the next day I used it. It's the palette that is on my eyes right now. Those are the shadows that I used to create this look. This is what it looks like inside. I don't think I need to show you swatches, all that kind of jazz, because so many people has done it already. But you know what, just to satisfy my own mind, let me do it now. You know, let me do it. I will swatch my favorite shade in this palette, which is Wild Child. Let me do Rose Gold, and let me do this matte called Passion. Like, I'm really bad with swatches. I hope you all will be able to see this. Like, I don't know, you know, the matte is Passion, this is Rose Gold, and this is Wild Child. This shade I find to be very unique. It looks like it's a pink, but it has some reflects of gold. But the shimmers and stuff, of course, these swatch like butter. The mattes are great, and I know a lot of people with darker skin tones has some concerns because they think that the matte shades especially is not going to show up on their skin tone. If you have the opportunity to swatch it, I'm going to encourage you to swatch it, because the way they look in the pan, like, they look as though they may not be pigmented enough, but these don't show up ashy on me at all. I have no problem blending them and getting really good payoff and depth on my eye. I use nothing else to do my crease, for example. I mix Love and Volatile first to set up my transition in the crease. Then I went in, interestingly, with this shimmery shade, which is Drama. That is also on the outer corner and a little bit into my crease. I put a little bit of Celestial right in the middle of my lid, and then Wild Child is what you see mainly on my lid. And my lower lash line, I did put a brown liner, but I put the Rose Gold on my lower lash line, and then Passion, again, that matte on the end there, because to just blend it out. And in the inner corner is Dreamer. So I use so many of the shadows in this palette to create this look, and if I wanted, I could still get a kind of warm tone look from this palette, not just pinkies or purpley looks. And you see this interesting matte here called Soul. Don't underestimate it. Oh my goodness, this looks so beautiful in the crease. It was the first shadow I actually used when I used the palette, because I wanted to see how that one was going to look. It was the most interesting and unique for me, because you don't really see this matte shade in palettes, and it looks really, really lovely. It has enough depth to go in my crease. And yeah, if you like me and you love ABH shadows, don't wait. Well, maybe you could wait and get you 20% off in the sale or something, but definitely it's one to pick up and add to your collection. I absolutely love it. In love, in love, in love. And of course it goes with all my other Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes that I will never give away. I love them. Anybody else loves ABH shadows as much as me? Remember to comment below and let me know what were your makeup favorites in the last 2 months. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. I have something interesting coming up to discuss with you guys. See you later. Bye.